Okay, so here is the quiz solution. We'll work it out. One second. Okay, so this is one version of the quiz. Let's see, sorry, this is not going to work. One second, I'm sorry. Okay, so we have find the volume of the solid generated by revolving the region that's here, given by the curve y equals 2 root sine x, the line y equals 2. There's this pi over 2 here, which is just to let you know where it's cut off at. And you're going to rotate this around the x-axis. Okay. And so this would be an example of a washer. Why? Because there's a gap between our region and our axis. And if it's in washer, the rectangle that we draw will have to be a vertical rectangle perpendicular to the axis of rotation, and that's in x. We don't want this in y because we'd have to solve for x here. We have to take a square and then take an arc sine. So washer in x. All right, great. So there is an outer radius, which is the distance up to the outer curve, which is a constant 2. There's an inner radius, which is the distance. Call this call this capital R. We'll call this lowercase r. Okay, lowercase r is going to be the distance up to the function. And that distance is y, the distance off the x-axis, but you can't use y since you're in terms of x, so we call it 2 times the square root of sine x. Washer, the volume is pi times the integral. This thing moves from x equals 0 to x equals pi over 2. And we'll be squaring the outer radius, squaring the inner radius, subtracting. Okay, so what we get is, what we get is 4 minus, don't forget to square the 2, and when you square the root, you just get sine x. So we'll pull out a 4, and we're talking about 1 minus the sine of x. Keep the 4 pi outside. Antiderivative of 1 is x. What function has negative sine x as its derivative? Cosine x. And we evaluate from 0 to pi over 2. Still have the 4 pi on the outside. We put in the pi over 2. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0. Put in the 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. So we're going to get pi over 2 minus 1. All of that times 4 pi. You can leave it like that. If you want to, you can put the 4 pi in and call it 2 pi squared minus 4 pi. Next up, I'm going to rotate this around the y-axis. Let me switch colors here. One second. I don't think it's good to have it all in red like this. Switch to blue. Okay, so going about the y-axis now. Okay. It's flush up against the y-axis. So we're going to try disk when it's flush up against the axis. If you're doing disk, your rectangle that you draw, typical rectangle, is perpendicular to the axis of rotation. So this will be in y. When you have a typical rectangle that is horizontal, we'll be integrating from 0 up to 5 pi over 4. There's a pi. We'll leave the pi there. And then a radius. What's the radius? The radius is the distance. Basically, it's going to be this distance here, which represents the length of this rectangle. Oops. Sorry. That's the distance off of the y-axis. Distance off the y-axis. We call that x. But your integral is in terms of y. Here's the formula for x equals, in terms of y, we have 2 tangent of y over 5. We have the square. That's our radius. And we're dy. Pull the pi out. 0 to 5 pi over 4. And we square the 2, we get a 4. We square tan, we get tan squared. Okay, well, how do you integrate tan squared? You have to use a substitution for, let's call it a trig identity. 1 plus the tan squared is the secant squared. So tan squared will be secant squared minus 1. Well, why is that now something that you can integrate? Because the function that has secant squared as its derivative is tangent. And so what we get is 4 pi. Now be careful here. We get y being over 5. If you want to, you can do a u substitution, but I want you to get to the point where you don't have to do it. You have to divide by the reciprocal of the constant that is multiplied by your variable. So it'll be 5 times the tangent of y over 5. Try it out. Think about it. Its derivative is secant squared of y over 5, but then it would have an extra 1/5 out from the chain rule, and this 5 is out here to cancel that 1/5. Okay. Antiderivative of 1 is y, and so we go from 0 to 5 pi over 4. Okay, we have the 4 pi on the outside. The tangent of, I guess that ends up as the tangent of pi over 4. Minus 5 pi over 4. The tangent is 0, minus 0, so 0. What's the tangent of pi over 4? So tangent of pi over 4 is 1. 45 degrees, sine over cosine, 1. So we have 4 pi times 1 minus 5 pi over 4. You can multiply it in, you can. That's alright, nothing wrong with that. So we get 4 pi minus 5 pi squared. I'm sorry, I forgot the 5 here. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Let me erase this line here. Go back and put a 5 on here. Sorry about that. So we get erase right here. We get a 5. So we get 20 pi. Minus 5 pi squared. Okay, great. And now finally the last problem. draw this in yourself. We have y equals 3x. That's just a line. Slope of 3, we'll just draw one. Looks good. Goes to the origin. Y equals 3x. X equals 3. That's a vertical line. Y equals 0 is the x-axis. And so I guess, yeah, we're looking at this region here. Can I fill in? I don't know if I can fill in with this. I'll just shade. This region, ooh boy, undo. Sorry. This region in here. What are we rotating about? About the line x equals -4. Oh, jeez. Okay, and so we are going to do this in shell. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Nope. Jeez. I just want to draw a rectangle line. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Finally. Rectangle is parallel to the axis of rotation. There is the... Oh, come on. Don't do it to me. There's this distance here, which is the radius. So we're doing shell. It'll be in x because the rectangle is vertical, moved horizontally. We need a radius. We need a height. The height will be the distance up off the x-axis. So that's y, but it's in terms of x, so 3x. The radius is the distance to the y-axis, which is always going to be 4, plus, oh come on, I'll do this, the distance off of the y-axis, which is always called x. And so 4 plus x will be the radius. And so we set the volume to be 2 pi times the integral from 0 to 3 radius times height. We can pull the 3 out, call it 6 pi, and get 4x plus x squared, integrated from 0 to 3, x squared, 2x squared plus x cubed over 3, evaluated from 0 to 3 with a 6 pi outside. Put the 3 in, 2 times 9 plus 27 over 3. And what we get is 18 plus a 9, which is itself 27. And that's times 6 pi. And so, old school, no calculator, so that's what you have to do. 12 plus 4 is 100, well 16, and then 162. The answer, 162 pi. Okay, and that is your quiz. It took me about 15 minutes with the technological difficulties dealing with this pen, but anyway, there we go. Very good.